Sebelum menonton, jangan lupa like, subscribe, dan tekan tombol lonceng. Selamat menyaksikan.
Menteri Pariwisata dan Ekonomi Kreatif Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno memaparkan potensi pengembangan wisata halal di Indonesia dalam Virtual International Halal Science Conference 2021. Wisata halal merupakan segmen pariwisata yang menyasar target wisatawan muslim. Beberapa hal yang perlu dimiliki destinasi wisata untuk pengembangan wisata halal sendiri adalah menyediakan makanan halal, fasilitas pendukung seperti tempat berwudu dan musola, serta memiliki pelayanan yang ramah muslim. Dalam acara Launching of Spiritual International Halal Science Conference 2021, Enhancing and Strengthening Halal Industry Through Science, Sandiaga mengatakan Indonesia memiliki potensi wisata halal yang sangat besar. Potensi ini semakin diperkuat dengan masuknya Indonesia ke dalam 5 negara dengan pengeluaran wisata halal tahun 2019 berdasarkan data dari State of Global Islamic Economy Report 2020-2021, yaitu sebesar 11,2 miliar dolar Amerika Serikat. Sandiaga menyampaikan, saat ini pihaknya terus mempersiapkan berbagai kelengkapan yang diperlukan untuk mengembangkan potensi wisata halal di Indonesia, mulai dari sisi regulasi, sumber daya manusia, atraksi hingga fasilitas pendukung. Meski demikian, dengan terjadinya pandemi COVID-19, pihaknya berinovasi dan beradaptasi dengan memanfaatkan perkembangan teknologi dan digital untuk mengembangkan potensi wisata halal di Indonesia.
I would like to remind everybody that this pandemic forces us to increase our innovations, our adaptations, and collaborations, in particular with the halal tourism concept and the opportunities, and also how we could develop a comprehensive and unified strategy, not only for Indonesia, but also in the regions. The halal tourism concept that we are developing here is based on extensions of services. Muslim travelers' faith-based service needs 2.0 as basically have 3 pillars: the need to have, good to have, and nice to have. And I think we have been focusing on halal food, prayer facilities, and amenities. But we are also now developing of good to have and nice to have, including some of the social program that develop on how we could improve the experience of Muslim travelers. The opportunities to develop the halal tourism lies on these 3 key aspects. First is diversity in tourism resources. Second, Indonesia is the largest archipelago and also with the most populous country in ASEAN and the most populous country with Muslim populations. Indonesia will focus itself as a leading destinations for halal tourism, and our attentions to positive attitudes, because some still have not developed a unified knowledge on what is halal tourism and the development. As we know, the few of the favorite destinations like Labuan Bajo and Bali is also a favorite destinations for Muslim travelers, and how we make those destinations as Muslim friendly as possible. There are major components of Muslim-friendly tourism, namely the transportations, the hotels, in particular the food. We take it for granted in Indonesia because 86% plus are Muslims, but in particular the preparations, the logistics of halal food is not only certifications, it's beyond certifications. Professor Irwandi always remind me that it's not only halal food, but halalan toiban. For instance, rendang. This morning he said, rendang is full of protein. The beef rendang, but it has to be prepared in the best way, which is slow cook, slow simmering cook. And this is what we need to educate, how the food, the halal food is being prepared like rendang. Tour packages and also finances. We will have huge opportunity in the finances because Islamic finance and halal finance has not even been 10% recognized in Indonesia. The market potential for halal tourism is huge. We are seeing that Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, and Indonesians spend billions of dollars overseas in the areas that is basically not yet been fully tapped by the program of our halal tourism. So we see the increase in spending by Muslim travelers and the quality of their stay, the length of their vacations are really key for us to focus on how we could improve the experience and providing quality and sustainable tourism that is based on halal and Muslim-friendly tourism. If we are seeing the model, how Global Muslim Travel Index are focusing on, so we have this access, communications, environment, and services. So these are 4 criteria that we need to continue to develop, how we could focus on improving these 4 aspects. Now, COVID-19 dealt such a tremendous blow to our sectors, in particular halal tourism. But we are seeing a sharp rebound before the second wave is coming to Indonesia. As we speak now, we're seeing Bali and other tourist destinations like Borobudur see a 4-folds, has quadrupled the number of domestic visitors. And this is actually signals opportunities ahead. Next, I would like to talk about how technology is being disrupted, in particular in the areas of halal tourism, how virtual travel. I just took 5 package tours involving elementary schools into virtual tour to Danau Toba, to Lake Toba only 3 or 4 days ago. It's booming, the virtual travel and the virtual reality, augmented reality type tour. Online ticketing and booking, ecotourism, sports tourism, and how we could improve. We call it certifications of CHSE, cleanliness, health, safety, and environmental sustainability. And this is particularly very Islamic, that anything that relates to tourism must be clean, must be healthy, must be safe, and must be environmental friendly, environmental sustainable.
Selain itu, pihaknya juga sudah menetapkan protokol kesehatan CHSE yang telah dibukukan sebagai panduan bagi para pelaku pariwisata dan ekonomi kreatif dalam menghadapi pandemi COVID-19 dan mengembangkan potensi wisata halal. Dalam acara ini, Sandiaga didampingi oleh Deputi Bidang Produk Wisata dan Penyelenggaraan Kegiatan Kemenparekraf Rizky Handayani, Direktur Wisata Minat Khusus Kemenparekraf Alexander Rean, serta Civitas Akademika International Islamic University Malaysia. Acara ini juga dibuka oleh Menteri Pengajian Tinggi Malaysia, Dato' Noraini Ahmad. Tim Eljan Media melaporkan.